Welcome to Shiksharthi, and today's our topic is on probability. And what is probability? I'll brief you that. Then we'll do exercise problems on probability. So let us brief what is probabilities. You already have a little of idea because you have studied this in 9th class. But now we'll see what all the important points we need to remember every time while doing probability. What is a probability, my friends? A classic definition of probability says a probability of an event is equals to number of favorable events divided by total number of events. Now you must be wondering what is favorable events, what is total number of events, what is event and all that. I'll take small examples here to make you understand this concept. Okay, so let us talk about a coin. If I'm talking about one coin, then a coin will have two outcomes, we all know. Remember, the coin have to be unbiased coin, equally balanced coin. Then you'll get the two outcomes as H and T, that is head and tail. So when I say total number of events and I'm tossing one coin, I'll be getting only two outcomes. So total number of outcomes here are only two. So total number of events will be either H or T. Now here, importantly, we need to also know one important definition, that is equally likely. Equally likely. What is equally likely, my friend? The chances of getting head is same as chances of getting tail. Or in versa wise, chances of getting tail is same as chances of getting head. So these two events have equal chances of getting. In such case, it is said to be equally likely events. Is that clear? The chances of both coming up is same. In that case, it is said to be equally likely. Now when I'm talking about one die, for example, if I'm talking about a die, then you can see the outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here, if it is an unbiased or if it is a properly made die, then the chances of getting 1 will be same as chances of getting 2, will be same as chances of getting 3, will be same as chances of getting 4, will be same as getting 5 and 6 as well. So these events are said to be equally likely. So when I say that chances of getting any event is same, then such all events are said to be equally likely. So this is a very important one. Unless it is defined in the question that there is something called biased or how it is biased, we should not assume that it is a biased coin. We should assume every time it is to be an equally likely. That means whenever a coin is tossed, falling a head, falling a tail will have equal chances, and when a die, these all have equal chances. So this is a major point here. So when I say total number of events, in case of a die, it will be 6 outcomes which I'll write. So here, when I have to do one question, let us do one question so that you can get a clarity on it. You can see the faces of the die which we get here, 1 to 6. Okay, in this, if my question is to find how many even numbers are there or what is the probability of getting an even number when a die is rolled, probability of getting an even number when die is rolled. So how many even numbers are in favor? I have 2, 4, 6 are in favor. So what is the definition here? You can see total number of favorable events. So I have total number of favorable events. Probability of getting an even number is equals to favorable events 2, 4 and 6. There are 3 favorable events out of total number of events. How many total number of events possible for a die? 6. So I'll take it up as 6 over here, and then you can simplify this as to 1 by 2. I'm going in a little small examples because the people who did not understand last year, this year they can put their efforts to understand. It's very simple topic, friends. Small things we need to remember. Okay. So similarly, if I wish to get prime numbers, here prime numbers, if you see, what is the probability of getting a prime number? Now identify the prime numbers here. 2, 3, 5 are prime numbers. So how many are in my favor? According to question, how many are in my favor? My favor, there are 3 out of total. What is the total, friends? Total are 6 outcomes. So here 6, and again this can give you 1 by 2. Okay, I'll take another one. Take here, probability of getting an even prime. Even prime, for example. Okay, so what is the probability of getting an even prime? So what is an even prime, friends? You know, prime numbers are 2, 3 and 5, and out of which the even prime is only 2. Only 2. So how many are in favor of the question? 1. And total number of events are 6. So getting an even prime, 1 by 6 is the probability. So whenever you write favorable by total, favorable by total, favorable by total, that we can call it as a probability. That is what the definition says. So it is very, very simple. We need to see total how many outcomes are there, of which how many are in favor is what we need to know. So favorable by total number is always called as probability. Now let us have one more example, quick example. Probability of getting a square of a number. Square of number, if I say. Now can you identify what are the perfect squares in out of 6 outcomes here? I can see 1 as a perfect square, 4 as a perfect square. So in favor of the question, there are 2 events out of total number of outcomes as 6. So I can say 1 by 3. Now I can see one more thing what is happening here. On the same die, there can be plenty of questions. There can be a lot of questions which I can frame. I can see what is the probability of getting an odd number, what is the probability of getting a multiples of 3, what is the probability of getting a multiple of 5, like that I can frame a lot of questions. So what I need to remember every time, I should know how many outcomes are there, what all the varieties of questions can be asked. If you have a little of idea about this, you can do any question. Believe me, you can do any question very easily. So that is the beauty of this subject, and very useful subject, friends. In future, you have lot of questions coming in probability, lot of topics, lot of other things can be learned in probability. So at your level, it is just a basic topic for you. So just need to know how many are in favor out of total number of events. Now before we before we start the exercise, there are certain small properties which we need to remember. 2 points more that will help you while doing this. Okay. So here one is probability of an event, we got it, I'll take it in points. Probability of an event is equals to number of favorable events out of total number of events. Total number of events. Okay. Now in the example of die, which I take die as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in the example of die. Now I'll take one question, friends. What is the question? Suppose if I say probability of getting an even prime, I said. Let us take the same example, even prime. Okay, and what is the answer for this? Number of even primes is only 2. So I'll take one event which is in favor out of total 6 events. This is probability of happening, probability of occurring of an event. I can also say this as probability of occurring of an event. Is that clear, all of you? That means whatever you wish, that is happening. So happening of an event is 1/6. Now reverse of this, the complement of this, we can call it as non-occurring or non-happening of an event. So if I take a non-occurring of an event, or probability of not happening of an event, something going not same as this, something reverse. What are the chances? Happening is 2. If you get 2, the probability is happening. The things are happening. If I get instead of 2 as 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6, then it is called non-happening. Something which is going out of your wish, something which you are not looking for. In such cases, it is called probability of not happening. So here, how many are there such events here which are not in favor of the question? The question is to find even prime. How many are not in the favor? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 5 out of 6. So normally what will happen, friends, this occurring or probability of happening, we call it as P of E, and probability of non-happening, we call it as P of E dash. So this is called complement event. This is called complement event. And what is most important to learn, my friend, the way to get complement event is, if I wish to get complement of an event, then it is 1 minus P of E is what I should do. Like here 1 minus probability of happening is 1 by 6. So this leads to 5 by 6. So that leads to an important point, my friend. Point number 2 here. Probability of happening of an event. Probability of happening of an event plus probability of non-happening of an event is always equal to 1. So the maximum value of the probability here will be 1. So sum of happening plus non-happening. For example, 3 out of 6 or half the chances of happening, half the chances are non-happening. So happening plus non-happening always leads to 1. Suppose someone is going for an interview and there are 3 candidates who are attempting for the interview and there is only 1 vacancy, for example. So probability of the person getting a job is 1/3. Out of 3, 1 can get it, right? So 1/3, and probability of non-happening will be 2/3. So happening plus non-happening always results to 1. So you can take a lot of such examples which can be easy for us to understand this concept here. Many other times, why I should learn this? Important thing is why I should learn this. Will the question be asked to find non-happening of an event? Mostly no. Why I should learn this? Many times it happens like finding happening of an event could be little extra calculations or may involve an extra calculations. To avoid that, probability of non-happening, based on probability of non-happening, applying this concept, we can find probability of happening also. So since I know the sum of these two is equal to 1, it is always easy for me to know probability of happening and probability of non-happening also. Sometimes probability of non-happening, finding a non-happening is easier when compared to probability of happening. So we'll use this concept in order to find out that, okay? Now point number 3, friends, very important one. Probability of any event will lie between 0 and 1. Now 0 and 1. So minimum of the value for a probability is 0 and the maximum value of a probability is 1. And again, getting the value as 0, getting the value as 1 is something which are special cases for us. So you can see the examples which I shared with you. See the examples of the last one. Half lies between 0 and 1. Half lies between 0 and 1. 1 by 6 lies between 0 and 1. 1 by 3 also lies between 0 and 1. Fair enough? So whenever the value of probability is coming, that will always lies between 0 and 1. And as I said, getting a 0 or getting a 1 is special case for us. Let us discuss that, all of you. Okay, let us see. So suppose if I am talking about a die, what is a die here? It will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here in this case. And now probability of, my question if you please listen, probability of getting multiple of 7. Multiple of 7. Now can you identify how many outcomes here are multiples of 7? Do we have any multiple of 7? No. In such case, there are 0 events which are in favor out of total 6. You can please observe 0 are in my favor. There are no multiples of 6 on a die. So, 7 on a die. So 0 are in favor out of 6. And that leads to what? 0. So this case, when I am getting the value as 0, this is called impossible. Impossible events. If I am getting 0, please observe 0. So there is no possibility. So it is said to be simply impossible events. And now let us have one more here. Probability of getting a natural number. Probability of getting a natural number. And you all know what is the definition of natural number. Natural number, the numbers which are used for counting purpose, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that we do. Now if you observe, can I say all these numbers are natural numbers? Yes. So how many are in favor, friends? 6. 6 out of 6 are natural numbers. So 6 out of 6 is what I write, and my answer here is 1. And there you see which is definitely happening. Natural number definitely happening. In that case, it is said to be 1. So this kind of events are said to be certain events. These kind of events are said to be certain events. Okay. So very important one. Impossible events and certain events. What is impossible events? The events which will lead to 0, the final result is 0, and certain event where it leads to 1. As I said, probability of an event always lies between 0 and 1. 0 and 1 both are inclusive values for probability. Okay. Now, further in probability, these 3 points are very important. Let us recollect once again. Probability of happening of an event is number of favorable events upon total number of events. Second, there is a complement event which is 1 minus happening of an event. Probability of non-happening is 1 minus probability of happening. So, let us see that once. So, this is what I was talking about. Sum of the probability of happening plus non-happening is always equal to 1. I can also say the same thing as probability of happening is equals to 1 minus probability of non-happening also, you can say here. So I can use either this or this to get my results. Okay. And the third one, which is most important, probability value always lies between 0 and 1. Now before we again further know something more about probability, I wish if you know the standard questions here. Like mostly the questions can be based on coins, the questions can be based on dice, the questions can be based on cards, the playing cards, and some questions based on there are certain number of balls of different colors kind of a questions, and there we need to know the situations and based on that. So let me give you the total number of outcomes and type of questions. I believe that if you understand what I'm talking right now, you can be able to answer the questions on your own. You don't need any help. It's a very simple topic. Just we need to know the outcomes, that is total number of outcomes. Suppose if I'm talking about one coin, for example, one coin will have only 2 outcomes, that is head and tail. If I'm talking about 2 coins, for example, 2 coins, okay, so in that case I'll get head head, head tail, tail head, and tail tail as 4 outcomes. Suppose you say you're tossing 2 coins. You're tossing 2 coins. So you may get first as head, second as head. You may get first coin head, second coin tail. You may get first coin tail, second coin head, and you may get both as tails. Please remember, these 2 are different conditions. Don't get confused. You may think like first head, second tail, how it is different as first tail and then head. Remember, first coin getting head and first coin getting tail are 2 different events. So this is to be taken very carefully. Now the point is, how do we remember this? I take simple method here. See the first case, I got head and tail, right? So I applied H between both, in front of both of them. So HH, HT. I applied H for both of them. And then I applied the first coin as T for both of them. So TH, TT. That is how I remember this total number of outcomes. Without any confusion, it is very simple. Okay. Now the point is to remember for 3 coins. Now apply H in front of all the 4 here. So it will be H, 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 T. Then applying H, H, T, H, and finally H, T, T are the first 4. And followed by applying T before all of them. So T, H, H, then T, H, T, then T, T, H, and T, T, T will be the 1. So total number of outcomes are how many? 8. So it goes like this, my friend. There are 2 faces. It should be 2 power 1, 2. If there are 2 coins, but each coin have 2 faces, number of faces will be base, number of coins will be power. I repeat, number of coins you are taking will be as a power. And how many faces a coin will have? 2 faces. That will be the base. Okay. So here you tell me again, A coin will have two faces. So 2 to the power of number of coins 3. Total outcomes are 8. Similarly, if I have 4 coins, which is probably may not be your syllabus way, but still if I have 4 coins, each coin will have two faces. Number of coins are 4. So total number of outcomes expected are how many? 16. And in such case, how do I write 16? Again, in this previous one, apply H in front of all these 8 and apply T in front of all these 8. So 8 plus 8, total 16 outcomes will come. So I have to understand how these coin concepts will come in the picture. So in my next video, we'll be discussing about dice, cards and some other experiments which will be helpful for you. Okay, thank you.